All right, let's just jump right in. We're going to take Neville Medhora's brilliant book on writing and boil it down to its most powerful, most actionable secrets. The whole point here? To give you a guide that you can start using to write better, like today.
You know, this quote right here is the foundation for everything else. We have to forget all that stuff we learned in school about sounding smart or professional. Our one and only job is to get an idea from our brain into someone else's, clearly and effectively. That's it. Keep that simple idea in your head as we go through this.
So before we get into any of the cool techniques, we really need to understand the stakes here. The words you choose aren't just letters on a page. Oh no, they have a huge real-world impact. And I can prove it with a quick little thought exercise. I want you to imagine two letters. Both are addressed to your own mother. The first one is just filled with gratitude and love, telling her how much she means to you. The second one? It's pure poison, just packed with resentment and hate. Now, just think for a second about the emotional result of each one. One creates absolute joy, the other, complete and utter devastation.
I mean, really let that sink in. It's the same envelope, the same stamp, it's going to the same person. The only thing that's different is the collection of words you chose to put on the page. That right there shows you that words hold the power to build people up or to completely tear them down. They're probably the most powerful tool we have.
Okay, so now that we have a healthy respect for the power of our words, how do we actually use them to be persuasive? Well, it all starts with this one simple shift in your mindset. And trust me, this changes everything.
Look, this might sting a little, but it is the absolute most important key to unlocking persuasive writing. When somebody reads something you wrote, the little voice in their head is always asking, what's in this for me? They don't care about your company's long history or your mission statement. They only care about themselves and their own problems. And here's that principle in action. See the boring copy on the left? It's all, we do this, we are dedicated, we. It's a total snooze fest, right? But look at the copy on the right. It jumps right in and speaks directly to the reader's problem. It grabs your attention because it's not about them, it's about you.
And this is why it works so well. It's not about the coaching company at all. It's about what the reader actually gets out of it. You'll hit the ball harder. You'll hit the sweet spot more often. You'll increase your serve speed. These are real, desirable results that solve the reader's problem. You have to lead with the benefit to them every time.
So you get it. You need to focus on the reader. But how do you actually sound interesting? The secret isn't about trying to be a comedian or some kind of clever wordsmith. It's way simpler. Just stop writing like a robot and start writing like a human being. This is the million-dollar question you have to start asking yourself. We're all conditioned to write in this stiff, formal, corporate speak. But think about it. When was the last time you were actually captivated by some jargon-filled paragraph? Yeah, never. We connect with real people, with real human voices.
Let's check out another example. That pitch on the left, your friend would be asleep before the coffee even got to the table. But the one on the right, it just starts with a simple, relatable story. So you know how it takes a really complex product and suddenly makes it easy to understand and, dare I say it, kind of cool?
Okay, so how do you actually find this natural, casual voice of yours? It's easier than you think. Here's a super simple exercise. Just grab your phone, open the voice recorder, and pretend you're explaining what you do to a friend. Just talk. Then get that recording transcribed. That transcript with all its normal, everyday language, that's your goldmine. That's your starting point for powerful, casual writing.
But, and this is a really important warning, casual does not mean wacky or confusing. Don't load up your writing with a bunch of inside jokes and weird stories that make the reader go, huh? The number one goal is always clarity. If a clever line gets in the way of the main point, you've got to cut it.
All right, so we've got our mindset right, and we know what tone to use. Now let's plug all of that into a structure, a formula that has been proven to sell ideas and products for decades.
And that formula is AIDA. It's a super simple 4-step framework for just about any persuasive message you'll ever write. First, you grab their attention. Then you build their interest. After that, you make them desire what you're offering. And finally, you give them a clear call to action.
Let's see how this plays out with a pretty wild example, a helicopter pitch. It starts by grabbing your attention, talking about your awful commute. Then it builds interest by listing all the amazing benefits of flying over traffic. It creates desire by putting a dollar value on your time, making you really want it. And then it calls you to action by telling you exactly what to do next. You see that flow? It's perfect. Phew, okay. We've covered a lot of ground. But if you only remember one single thing from this entire explainer, please let it be this next principle. This is the ultimate filter for every single thing you write from now on.
It all boils down to this. Your ego is your worst enemy in writing. You have to stop using big words and complicated sentences just to sound smart. Your only job is to get your information into the reader's brain with the least amount of friction possible. Make it easy for them.
And here's a really fun way to put that into practice. As you're proofreading your own writing, read it out loud in a caveman voice. Seriously, if at any point your inner caveman grunts, "Me no understand," or "This boring," you know you need to rewrite that part. It sounds silly, but it is an unbelievably effective filter for getting rid of complexity.
I mean, just look at this. The version on the left is boring corporate jargon. The one on the right, written by Neville himself, is simple, it's memorable, and it's fun. Which one do you think actually works? It's the caveman-approved one every single time. Just be clear, not clever.
You know, at the end of the day, getting people to read your stuff is all about capturing their attention. And yeah, you can do that by being new or by being novel, but that stuff wears off pretty quick. The most powerful, the most sustainable way to keep people coming back is to just be genuinely helpful. If you solve their problems, they will always, always listen to you.
So let's end on this challenge. From this moment on, before you hit send, before you hit publish on anything you write, just stop and ask yourself this one simple question. I promise you, the answer will change everything about how you write.